Hello friends, welcome to my channel, Kaylee Cross Stitch. Today is Tuesday, March 2nd. This will be uploaded on Wednesday. And as you see, I have a finish. Almost. I have finished all the X's on Georgia. And if you have been following me on this one, I think I started this one in February. So it took me a little over a month. No, maybe I started it in January. Sorry. And I finished the X's last night, but I decided that I wanted to add a backstitch around the edge because of this white sky section that doesn't have any outline. Sorry for the cat scratches. And I figured that today I would chat with you as I complete this project, as I complete the backstitch. Now, depending on how long I am recording, I do have my supplies here to start Florida or to get my fabric set up. So if you're interested in seeing how I cut my fabric, all that fun stuff, then I might do that at the end. We'll see how long I'm recording. And yeah, I can already tell this is going to be a hot mess because if you see this stand, this is holding my phone and I'm sort of pointing it at the piece here, but it's probably gonna be hard for me to keep it in frame. So this is the kind of video where you just want to sit back and get your stitching and your crafting and not even pay attention to what I'm doing, because I'm gonna be wobbly bobbly all over the place today, probably. If you like what you see, you can subscribe, you can comment, you can like, all those fun things, or you can be a lurker like me. I love to just lurk on people's channels. Okay, I'm gonna do my best to keep this in frame, but if not, I have my tiny Ort tin here that you can admire. Oh, the cat is smelling my shoe. Okay, here we go. I was shouted out in a video this week by Jessie Lee TV, Carolyn Flosstube, and I was shocked. I watched her first floss tube because I followed her on Instagram, and I was like, "Ooh, she has another video out." I kind of like to see people from the beginning, and I'm having a hard time like catching up on everyone from the beginning if they have a lot of videos. But so I find myself just clicking on people who have a couple videos and catching up that way. It doesn't mean that I don't intend to catch up on everyone else. It's just a little overwhelming for me right now. So anyway, I saw that she uploaded another video, and the reason I found Jessie Lee is because she did a box of chocolates pattern that I started when I was a teenager. And I was like, ooh, she's doing this really cool project. Whoa, see, it's already a mess. And so I started following her and watching her floss tube. And she uploaded another one, or a second video this week. And she started her video off by saying, Kaylee, this is a disaster. This is not going to go well, the whole video. Just you wait. And she was like, I would like to say thank you to everyone who watched my video, and just give a couple shout outs to people who I've been watching, who I've really gotten to know. And I was thinking, I don't talk about myself in my videos very much. So, it's no way it could be me. And she was like, the first person I would like to shout out is Kaylee Cross Stitch. And you should have seen my reaction. I was shocked. I was shocked. Because somebody on the internet was talking about me. And I figured like today I would talk a little bit more about myself, because I know that's kind of a fun thing to do, and you get to know the Stitcher. And you know what? Watching a couple in my floss tubes, I realize I talk about myself a little bit more than I think I do. So anyway, it was shocking to me to see somebody talk about me, because I think that I have this this like sort of view of other people as celebrity in a sense, like, and not that I think that any cross stitchers are like I guess celebrity in the term that it's somebody who you've seen only in one medium, and then there's a certain level of fascination that you have with that person or that community. So I grew up in North Dakota, which there are not celebrities in North Dakota. There's like not really any celebrities living in North Dakota. Oh, I did it again. My lighting is not the greatest, but that's okay. Josh Duhamel is from North Dakota. He's from Minot. But I never met celebrities, or I never met anyone who had worked with celebrities, or had never been around celebrities, etc. So the idea of somebody knowing who I am, who I have this sort of celebrity-ish idea of them, then that it kind of blows my mind. So that was my reaction to having somebody talk about me on the internet. But now I live in Southern California. Oh my goodness, this is a hot mess. I'm sorry. I live in Southern California now, where you're only like 1 or 2 degrees away from, quote, celebrities. Like, or like people who have played in movies. I'm a musician, so I know people who have played in all of the movies. You know, like it's just hard for my brain to wrap around the idea that I am close to celebrities in my sense of the word. Not like huge celebrities. What an interesting conversation. So anyway, I was super duper happy to hear somebody shout me out, because it's, it's validation, and us humans, we love that. And it's also just like really, really happy that somebody that you sort of looked up to noticed. I mean, that's a weird way to put it, because I don't want people to think that that's sort of the way to get validation. Certainly is not. Like, people on the internet is not the way to get your validation. But it's just really cool when it does happen online. And in that same vein, I got a comment from Stitchin' Mommy, which also shocked me. I was like, whoa. I'm just very humbled and welcomed by this community. We're pretty cool most of the time. See, doesn't that look... That looks better, I think. I'm definitely gonna make a mistake, but oh well. I also feel that way when somebody actually replies to me on Instagram that I've watched their floss tubes, or I really like their stitching, or if we find something in common. I love that. I got a message on Instagram the other day from a former music teacher, and I was like, this is so cool that we find each other through this medium. Okay, I'm gonna bring this really close to my face so I can see. What do you think? Do you like backstitch? Did I even put that in the right hole? Oh my gosh. Okay. Peachy. So yeah. Yeah, somebody messaged me on Instagram who's a former music teacher, and it was so cool that we were able to talk about like teaching pedagogy or like preference. Because I teach elementary music, and when I was going through college, I wouldn't have thought that I would be in this elementary teaching position. How do I explain this? Like, I think I've had this complex. When I was in high school, I was going to a high school with not very many people, like 17 people in my class, not very many. And I had learned to read music, singing hymns in church, and we would sing a cappella, so you're just like, either you're in tune or everybody's looking at you funny, sort of thing. And I learned to sing parts that way too, like the alto part or the high tenor part. Oh my goodness. What a sound of the past. I'd like never sing high tenor anymore. Okay, does this look weird if it's like all boxy like that? It's okay. What do you think? Should I rip this out? Is it even good? I don't know. So, in high school or actually before that, I learned to read music at a fairly young age. And my school had a music program on and off for elementary. So sometimes we had an elementary music teacher, and sometimes it was the high school director who had to take on 6th grade choir or 6th grade. And it wasn't the full year either. And so we had a pretty sporadic music situation in elementary school. But then in 5th grade I joined band and choir in 7th grade. Where was the story going? Oh yeah, I kind of, not that I was better than everyone, because I certainly probably wasn't, but I thought I was. I was just like, oh, nobody else can read music, they're all dumb. And I'm the only one who can read music, and I got into Allstate because I'm such an awesome singer. Turns out it was just because I could read music. My technique wasn't as awesome as I thought it was. So here's a singing statement that I'm totally going to make hypocritically because I didn't do it very much. If you never record yourself singing and you think you're a good singer, you might want to record yourself. So I make that statement hypocritically because I was not a person who liked to record themselves. And of course, nobody really likes to record themselves or hear their voice, but I especially didn't. So it's essential for you to hear your voice if you're looking to get any better at singing. Hear your voice from an audience perspective. That was bad. Oh no. I stuck it right through the middle. Okay, there we go. Well, I could have just done it again. Oh. You need to hear yourself singing from an audience perspective. Because, I mean, just think about it. When you're singing, it's your own head that is vibrating, your own muscles. And if you are relying on your own ear to hear yourself, it's not going to sound the same as if you record it. Because there's vibrations happening in your skull. And it might not be an accurate sound. Oops. I think that might have been what happened last week. Is I muted the mic. Does it have it? Let me see. Yeah, I accidentally muted the mic. I think that might have been what happened last time when I tried to record. Anyway. So, maybe an exercise if you're interested in knowing what this means when you're like, oh no, do I think I'm a good singer? I don't mean to make you feel like you're a bad singer. Oh my goodness, I'm gonna get in trouble if I just talk through all my Stitch with me's. A really interesting way to test this is if you put your hand up to your ear and you sort of pull your ear towards your mouth as a microphone. Here, let me see if I can show you. If you go like this, if you grab your ear lobe and pull it towards your mouth, it's like a microphone that sends your sound from your mouth into your ear. And of course that's not as good as like a real recording. Here, let me move this. The cats are out there. They're sleepy. Oh, kitties. Excuse the absolute mess in my living room. I'm sorry. But look at that boy. Oh, he's so cute. Okay, hold please. Let me rearrange. Make this bigger. I'm gonna burp. Excuse me. Oh, look at that boy. He's sleeping right on top of my shoe. Down, 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 down. Boom. I'm getting good at this. And the other cat is in a box. Let me send all of my stuff over the edge. How about? Okay, so there's the Missy in the box, and there's the boy. So anyway, try that with your face. Like, pull your earlobe and speak into your hand, and you'll be like, ew, do I actually sound like that? Or just record yourself singing and cringe. Comment below if you like to hear yourself sing. My guess is not, because all of us usually don't like it to hear ourselves. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to hold this close to my face while I do this part because it's hard to see. All the stitches are white. Where was I in my story? So I thought I was good at singing, and I wasn't. I mean, I was okay. I was good at reading music. But kind of got got it handed to me in college. I was like, ooh, I'm so good. And granted, I did, like, I was a pretty good choral singer. Like, I could blend with the people around me. But in terms of technique, I was not as good as I thought I was. Oh, yeah, I'm a hypocrite. That's where I was. I don't know how I was going to bring that story back to stitching, but alas. Okay, I'll come back now. Comment below if you love this this uncensored Kaylee form of video. Okay, we've been going for 20 minutes. Maybe I'll just like stop this after a couple threads and then show you how I start Florida without finishing this. Because I might get bored of this, like not being able to see thing. Yeah, I think I will. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope you are getting closer to the list of vaccination list. I am, because I'm a teacher. Hopefully I get mine soon. We here in California have been authorized for reopening K through 2, which would affect my schools. And they are offering financial incentive. Now, forgive me for being a out of the loop teacher, but from what I understand, from what I've been told, we will be financially penalized if we don't open in some capacity. Which I don't really understand how that is a thing, but I don't know. So it's possible that my schools will be back in session soon. And by soon, I mean like in a month. However, oh, Kaylee, I don't know if I will be back in person. They are not, or they haven't said anything about teachers who see more than one classroom a week, and I see over 800 students a week. And so they don't want cross-contamination. No, that's not the right word. They don't want students mingling with each other from different classrooms. So they're going to do like staggered recess schedule. They're going to... Oh no, my roommate is starting to drum. Oh no. Well, yeah, I like that. Let me tell you what, I'm gonna stop this right here and I will resume it when the drumming is done. I'll catch you soon. Hey, I know no time has passed for you, but some has for me. Roommate is still playing drums, but look at that cat. He fell asleep in my shoes. I'll be back. Okay, possibly we're in the clear, but if we're not, then I'll just pause again. As you can see, I have Florida ready And when I start on my fabric, I ordered these huge pieces of fabric. So this is like enormous. And this is 11 count. Florida's on 11 count. Oh, he's still playing the cymbals. And I like to count out my stitches by 10. Wow. Here, let me show you with my phone camera. You're going to move, sorry. I felt like Darcy, sorry. Okay, so here's my 10 by 10 mark. So I count 10 stitches and I literally just grab a pencil and mark it. And then I drew a line at the edge of the pattern. Okay, so excuse the sounds. And then I just cut my fabric. I gave myself 30 stitches, or 30 stitches, which is about 3 inches. Oh, 2.5, I guess. 11 count, 30 stitches. Yeah, 2.25, which is plenty. And especially since this pattern has a whole bunch of white space, probably will be okay. So then I just cut my fabric. I think my roommate is recording individual parts, so it's not like the whole set. Okay. Oh my gosh, this is not. So, left-handed people, tell me how much you hate scissors. Okay, I'm not farting. That is the chair I'm sitting on. I promise. You know, what would be easier is if I just did this. Oh, look at how much easier that is, Kaylee. Why didn't you do that to begin with? Whoosh. Okay. So then this is my piece of fabric for Florida, and it probably won't, I mean, since I have a 3-inch border, it will not be that big. And I guess the reason I wanted to do Florida next was to see if Georgia would, if the border would be to scale. So these are my first states bordering. So we'll see if the border is correct, which it kind of looks like it will be. So Georgia's on 22 count, and then Florida's is on 11 count. So the stitches will be 3 times as big, twice as big. Oh my goodness. I can't do math. Okay, so where should we start? We should start in this corner with the panhandle. So I have my needle ready to go. And sometimes I do this thing where I start in hand. So I just like to make sure I'm getting the correct spot in the fabric. Yep, that's right. So there's my absolute corner of my pattern. And on my pattern, I start in the stitch right next to it. So I'm going to go like this. And make sure I'm in the right spot. And sometimes I do this, especially on this one, I'm using 3 strands. I just sort of start from the front of my fabric and I run my thread through, and I know that I'm going to be covering up this line on the back with my stitches. Okay, let me move this so I don't run into it. And let me just make sure this is the right spot. Boom, boom, there. There's my first stitch. So this isn't working very well, as you can see. So I'll probably get a hoop soon to put this in. Okay, Lee, what a demonstration this has turned into. You're flying off the handle. Did you see the cat's in a different place? He went up to the shelf. Okay, so this is going well. Maybe I should put this in a Q snap. It probably would be better. Or I could move my camera so you can see it. Let me try that. Okay, I'm gonna pause while I move the camera. Okay, so got you on the other side. And let me put my microphone real close so you can hear this one. This is gonna be good. Let me just hit everything. Here, let me do this semi two-handed. So it's usually about this time that I just go and get a hoop or something already. And okay, so at this point, this is supposed to be 4 stitches high, so I'm just going to go to the back and pull this out. So then my tail is on the back of my fabric. And if there's any excess on the back, I usually trim it off. I like this pink. This is a really pretty pink. So yeah, this coverage is looking good. 3/1. You know, I don't even know if I've stitched on 11 count like this. Have you? Do you like 11 count? I like it because it's like big honkin' stitches and you can actually see the X's. Ooh, he's going good. Okay, please tell me if you mind drumming in the background. Because, well, first of all, I hope you just clicked off and if you didn't like it, but I will definitely avoid recording while there is drumming in the background, if that's what my viewers care about. So sometimes I will also mark on my fabric, like if you see this very faint line right here, this is 10 stitches, and that's like my gridding. I do like gridding on my full coverage, my big full coverage. Sometimes I don't do it as often on my smaller ones. I don't think I did it at all on Georgia. And sometimes it depends on if I see that the coverage is not like super thick, then I will avoid doing it because I'm lazy and have not washed any of my projects yet, which I probably will. these satisfying big stitches. Kaylee. Oh, come on. Does anyone else talk to themselves like that? Oh, Kaylee, what are you doing? Yeah, left-handed it is. Okay, so before I paused, I was talking about going back to school, resuming, because here in California we are still distance learning completely. And from the sounds of it, high school will not be back in person this year. Of course, that is subject to change. Oh dear, this is... let's see. Do I have... Maybe I'll grab a hoop from here. That's a really small one. Never mind. I need like 3 hands. How about? But anyway, yeah, it doesn't sound like high schools will be back. And this is something that I don't want to shy away from talking about, like, because I know this is sort of a hot button issue. I mean, the whole pandemic has been. But especially since I grew up in North Dakota and am now living in California, I don't know if our country really understands each other very well. And what I mean by that is, unless you come to Los Angeles and... oh my goodness, he's getting louder. Unless you come to Los Angeles, you don't know what 12 million people in the same basin feels like. And vice versa. If you have lived in LA your whole life or near a big city, you do not know what... oh, that's because there's a knot on the back. You do not know what 500 people in a town, or even less, feels like, as it is in North Dakota. So the way that LA County has to open up is completely a different situation than my hometown in North Dakota, where, you know, you're just not as in contact with as many people. I am really all over the place today, but you signed up for it. If you're still watching this, good for you for making it this far. Yeah, it's like different planets, North Dakota and California, Southern California specifically. So when I tell my students that I'm from a town that has less people than there are students at my school, it kind of blows their mind. Because there's like 400 or so students at my school. It's an elementary school, TK through 6, and the other one is K through 8, excuse me. And there are about as many people in those schools, or that go to the schools, than there are in my hometown. People, not students. So it really makes a difference, and especially demographically, like there's lots of different populations in the LA area, and I teach in a district where there's a lot of multi-generational families living in the same apartment or home, and so our numbers are different because of that, and the people that we come in contact with are different because of that. So it's a lot different. Okay, let me just make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. She can count. Only 40 minutes? It feels like it's been like 2 hours. Probably because I have been sitting here longer than you have been watching me. Let me know if you like these talking style videos, or if you like the ASMR style videos, or if you don't care. Cat hair. Don't care cat hair. Well, oh my goodness. Well, this is cumbersome. I'm very sorry for bumping the mic, but Kaylee is not used to stitching on 11 count and how like much space this takes up. Okay, so here's an idea of these patterns. Because I want to stitch them to scale. Oh my goodness. They are all different sizes of states, but the patterns are similar in size. But not really, because, well, I guess. I mean, the land square mileage of the states is definitely different. Well, that's something that I should look up. Florida has 3,276 stitches. Georgia had 11,100 something. So there's a lot more stitches in Georgia, but the fabric size is much smaller, count is much higher. That's kind of cool. This is really teaching me that this is a really fun hobby that is very diverse, and you don't have to do like one thing. You can like a whole bunch of different things. Like, I'd never stitched on 22 count before I stitched on Georgia, and it's delightful. But this is also delightful. Look at these like massive stitches. I love them. Whoa. Fun. So I will say, stitching with 3 strands is a little bit more cumbersome, and maybe you'll be like, Kaylee, just separate your threads before you start. Ain't nobody got time for that. I mean, ain't no lazy person got time for that. Or you can be like, Kaylee, just stitch with the shorter thread. No! I like my long thread. I'm sorry for yelling. Maybe I could twist this. Oh, you can see a cat foot. Look at this cat foot. Oh, that's a bad angle. I'm so sorry. Today is a mess. Hot mess. I mean, you've been watching this long, so... Okay, what else can I talk about? Stitching or life related. Oh, let me tell you why I am starting Florida. And without saying too many things about my personal life, and also without the consent of my husband, it's possible that we will move this summer. And it is possible that we will move to Florida. So I was like, oh, let me stitch Florida. And also I was really looking for an excuse to stitch on 11 count because I haven't. I love 14 count. Oh my goodness, these knots. We're gonna have a knotty back, y'all. I don't know where I get the credentials to say y'all, but I do. Shout out to my Texan friends and family. Thinking about you. So we might move to Florida. It's a possibility. It is not any amount of yes or no, or I have no idea if we are going to move there or not, but it's a possibility. So that's why I wanted to stitch Florida. And also I wanted to stitch a state that borders one that I've already done. I finished Arizona and now Georgia, and I want to see if my calculations were correct. If I was able to was able to calculate the borders correctly. We shall hope. Maybe I should do a video on that, like focused on my large project that I've taken on. Oh, look at this pretty color. It is looking darker on the camera than it does in real life. That's probably the absolutely white light I have on my project right now. Hopefully you're still just stitching on your own thing and not even watching me, because I could not watch this. The fabric is like wobbly bobbly, which I promised that it would be. And I will go back to my regularly scheduled still ASMR style next time. I really miss those, and it was so sad 2 weeks ago when I recorded, because I don't know, I think I had it muted last time. As I said, I had my microphone muted. Hopefully I've been talking enough to like distract you from the fact that there's drumming going on in the background. I hope you don't think that I'm like annoyed by my roommates, because he did say that he was recording. So, I mean, it's not like he didn't warn me. And also he's a very good drummer, so it's not like super annoying to listen to. I'm sorry, it's not annoying to listen to. He's a great drummer. Here I am saying things I don't mean. That's what you get, uncensored Kaylee. Slowly changing her daily speak. That's good coverage. When I was starting Georgia, again, like I said, I'd never stitched on 22 count, and also I'd never stitched with one strand. And I did a tiny little test spot of 2 strands and 1 strand, and I was like, husband, what do you think? What looks better? You know, as we all do. And then they just look at it and they're like, I don't know. But he said, I like 1 strand because I can actually see the X's, which is a good point. Like, if you can see the X's, then it's like, ooh, that's what the cross stitch means, not just like this bubble of thick floss. No knots yet. We're doing good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One more. So I was able to actually get advice from a non-stitching husband for a stitching question. The cat is nowhere near me, and yet there is a cat hair just chilling. Get out. How cat owners, how much cat hair is stitched into your projects. Girl, there's so much in mine. Is this even... Yeah, that's right. Okay. Speaking of husband... See, I have gone this far without using, or without changing my thread. Super long thread lovers unite. Oh, I am so sorry. Look at how bad. Oh, cat is moving. The phone camera thing that I'm trying to use. So this camera is my phone. And it's connected to my recording software via internet, Wi-Fi. So I apologize if it's like laggy or anything. As I said, you signed up for a hot mess today. I think if there's less like moving around, it's fine, but the more moving around, the harder time it has. Stitchy sounds, stitchy sounds. I sure do love the stitchy sounds. Stitchy, stitchy, stitchy sounds. Okay, stop singing. Wasn't I talking about listening to yourself sing earlier? You know, teaching elementary kids has taught me a lot. Like I was saying earlier, if you don't listen to yourself sing, then you're not doing yourself any favors, or recording yourself sing. And teaching kids has given my voice like a new forgive the flowery voice speak, but I have more smile in my sound now, because children make me smile most of the time. So when I'm singing, like, time for music, clap your hands, I'm smiling a lot more than, you know, before I would have sung, time for music, clap your hands, super like tall singing. So I'm learning to sing with a smile. Okay, I'll involve a teaching story here. I just thought of it. I have this very funny kindergartner who, anytime I go and into their Meet, then there's a Google Meet for music, I sing this song every time with the kindergartners. You know, it's good for them to have repetition. And I start singing, I start smiling, I start doing the actions. And this one kid, it looks like they're over-enunciating way too much. Like over-enunciating. And they're moving their head kind of in a sassy way. And I think that they might be imitating me. And every time I see them do it, I'm like, do I really look like that? Do I look ridiculously happy when I am teaching these kids? I mean, I am pretty happy when I'm teaching them because they are very cute and very sweet. But this one student just always looks looks animated. It's really cute. I hope they do it for the concert recording. So since I am teaching virtually still, we usually have a concert in the spring, and I usually do it before spring break. So I do it in March. And this year, I get to do it over the computer. So, I mean, you kind of have teaching to thank for me being really familiar with this software and recording and getting good sound and stuff. So what I do is I record my screen. So I use a software that can capture your screen. And in the Meet, I just start recording, and it captures the kids doing actions, and they stay muted in the Meet. I mean, if you have ever been in a Meet, or you have children who are in a Meet and everyone is unmuted, there's no way that would sound good if everyone was unmuted and trying to sing. So I'm doing a lot of like action songs instead of singing, and then if anyone does any singing, it will be on an individual basis. So what's fun about it is that I can like blame a lot of stuff on the technology. So if somebody's super laggy, it can just be like, well, they didn't have a very good internet connection. Or if they get kicked out and they, aren't on the screen anymore, it's like, well, it was the internet connection. It wasn't the kid like fooling around and falling off risers. They couldn't control it. So that's kind of fun. It's a new challenge all the time. I'm sure you all can imagine how teachers are just adapting like crazy. Yeah. I've learned a lot about sound and all that good stuff. Oh, he's like stretched out. Cute cat. Cute boy. Okay, I think I'll finish this thread and then I'll be done after that. But let me mark off and see how many stitches I've done. It's close to 100, and that was only like 25 minutes. 25 minutes. 78. 78 stitches, which is still not bad. I mean, of course, I have one color, so I'm not like constantly changing thread or rethreading my needle like I do on my full coverage, but yeah. Also, this needle makes it a lot easier. I know I keep talking about this in my lives and stuff, but I can't tell you enough how tapestry needles like completely changed my life. I used to stitch with embroidery needles, guys, like the super sharp ones, because I thought like, oh, you need a super sharp needle to be precise. But actually, it like sometimes if you are stitching with an embroidery needle and you like are putting your needle up through the fabric, it's gonna split your threads, and then your stitches actually look not as neat. Whereas this, like this dull tip, won't split the threads. It'll just slide right next to the threads. So if you're stubborn like I was, just give it a try, I promise. I promise it'll be better. And of course you can find needles that have like a much more dull tip, or something that has like tapestry needles. They do have a point, but it's not as tapered. So it slides into the fabric easier. Well, we probably won't get another 9 stitches out of this, but we will go down the next row. Uh-oh, I feel a burp. Excuse me. Well, I hope you have enjoyed this stitch with me. And if you weren't looking at the screen, I bet you enjoyed it even more. Or maybe not, because maybe you found me annoying, or I don't know. Why would you watch if you find me annoying? If you think I'm cool, subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at Kaylee Crossstitch. I don't know why I'm talking like Miranda sings. And yeah, you can follow me there, and I will post every other day on Instagram. And yeah. Okay, you know what? We're gonna chicken this, because it wouldn't be a all over the place video if we didn't play thread chicken. So every little bit counts. I'll probably have to put this in a Q-snap, because this is just fabulous for my posture and my muscles. Look, I'm not even holding it so you can see it. Ooh, are we gonna make it to the top? Here we go, here we go. No, well, yeah, we can. I think we can. Can we do it? Yes, we can. Oh, it's gonna be real good, real chickeny chicken. And boom. There. Say goodbye, kitty. He's like, goodbye. And goodbye.